After the 9/11 attacks, I remember going into my gym, and one of the security guards there is clearly of Middle Eastern origin. I knew him to be a Muslim, and I cast a long look at him, guilty by association, just by my prejudice based on who I interpreted him to be based on his ethnic identity. Similarly, when I was traveling through the Middle East, based on the invasion in Iraq, when I was in Syria, 10 miles away from the Iraqi border, I didn't want anybody to know that I was American because I thought it would just be a little bit safer. Perhaps they won't take a knife to my neck. And yes, during that time, Al-Qaeda and ISIS were quite active, especially in Iraq, not so much in Syria. But I still minded my P's and Q's. Despite being the only person in the desert without a gun, I did not find any harm come to me. However, based on the fact that I thought that they would perceive Americans negatively, I did state that I was Canadian. And today we are repeating the same phenomenon with Russians, where we ascribe negative value to their group identity and hold them responsible for something that very tiny sliver of the population had anything to do with in terms of the Ukrainian invasion, in terms of the deaths that have taken place, the destruction. And yes, we can all call that out, but when we go after Russian individuals, when we boycott their restaurants, all we do is divide society further. There's no cultural understanding. We are dividing up on opposing sides, and that's what happens with war. That's what yields a war. There's no talk. There's no tolerance. There's no discussion. It's, once again, guilt by association. You are condemning someone just on the basis of their group. It is the definition of racism. Ascribing a value to somebody's character based on their racial group, based on their identity that you perceive. And again, that's prejudice. And again, I think that all of us are guilty of that at some point, but it's important to call it out when it happens and to rise above that feeling that humanity in general has. Tribal divisions have been the lifeblood of war throughout eternity. And it was for survival in the past. And today it's political. People intentionally flame these grievances, these divisions, in order to attain greater power, in order to control and manipulate the actions of other people. So when you find yourself demonizing a citizen of the world because he is of Russian heritage, or the Ukrainian that opened a Russian restaurant because they thought it would be more popular, and just based on the fact that it's Russian, you decide to boycott it, then we're all engaging in an action that has negative long-term consequences. See each person for the individual that they are. Me with the security guard, the Syrians and the Iraqis that I met in the Middle East when I was in the desert. Not see me as an American agitator, not see me as a conqueror, but see me as an individual. And this is the excuse for massive amounts of violence around the world, and it is going on, and we all see it. So we should all take a step back and allow someone to be the individual and judge them based on their merit. To quote Martin Luther King, which applies here, judge me not based on the color of my skin, but the content of my character. Peace and blessings. Thumb up the video, subscribe, hit the all notification bell. Peace out.